Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Hey there. Mike Hardenbrook here. You ever notice how a couple of drinks can just, completely wallop you sometimes? Your friends might seem totally fine. You're all having the same thing, pretty much the same amount, but the next morning, wow, you're reaching for that emergency coffee and they're, heading out for a run. It's really easy to just think, oh, well, they just have a higher tolerance, right? But what if I told you that a lot of time it's not really about some kind of mythical willpower, but it's actually down to, how your body is built, your biology. Welcome to this exploration. Today, we're going to dig into why alcohol affects people in such really different ways. We're looking specifically at the roles of things like biological sex, your hormones, even just your basic body makeup like fat versus water content. Think of this as getting the inside scoop on how your specific system handles a drink. Personalized info, just for you. Now, why spend your time on this? Good question. Well, for starters, it's about getting a better handle on your own incredible body. Seriously, if you've ever felt like you just can't quite keep up, maybe. Or that even just a little bit of alcohol seems to hit you harder than it affects other people, then this is definitely for you. Look, we're not here to judge anyone's choices at all. Not the point. We're just here to hand you some solid information, stuff that can help you understand your own experiences, and maybe make smarter decisions about your health down the line. It's all about feeling empowered. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty here. First thing to think about is body water, just plain old water. Imagine it like this. When you drink alcohol, it needs to dilute itself, right? It mixes with the water in your body. Now, just generally speaking, women tend to have a higher proportion of body fat and, crucially, less body water compared to men. That's just physiology. So think about it. If you drink the same amount of alcohol, but you have less water for it to dilute in, the concentration of alcohol in your bloodstream is naturally going to be higher. Kind of like basic plumbing, really simple math. One of the sources we looked at put it really, really well. It's not your tolerance. The drink is literally hitting you harder. It kind of makes you go, doesn't it? Explains a lot. Okay, next up, let's chat about these tiny but super important workers in your body called enzymes. Specifically, there's one called alcohol dehydrogenase. Let's just call it ADH, much easier. Think of ADH as your body's first response team for breaking down alcohol. It gets to work right away in your stomach and then in your liver. Now, here's another key difference. On average, women tend to have lower levels of this ADH enzyme, particularly in the stomach, than men do. So if you have fewer of these initial alcohol busters, guess what? More of that pure alcohol is going to sneak past that first checkpoint and get right into your bloodstream before your liver even gets a proper crack at it. It's kind of like having fewer security guards at the door of a big party. More people just wander straight in. And the source material nails it again here. One drink can go a lot further if your enzymes are lagging behind. Suddenly, that unexpected buzz from just one drink, maybe it starts to make a bit more biological sense. And just when you thought it was, all about the water and the enzymes, hold on, because hormones are absolutely stepping into the picture here. Specifically, the hormone estrogen. It seems it can actually slow down how quickly your body processes alcohol. So for anyone who experiences a monthly cycle around times like ovulation or dealing with PMS, that glass of wine might feel a bit stronger. And maybe that next day slump, that crash, could feel even tougher than usual. But wait, there's more. It's not just about feeling tipsy faster. These hormonal shifts can also apparently crank up inflammation and your body's stress response after you've had a drink. Even that kind of fuzzy, maybe even a little bit anxious or irritable feeling the morning after. Our sources basically say that next day anxiety or irritability, totally legit. It's not just in your head. There's real biology driving that feeling. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. Think about the bigger picture, like long-term health. Interestingly, the research suggests that women might be more vulnerable to some of the long-term negative effects of alcohol, even if they're drinking less overall than men. We're talking about potentially higher risks for things like liver disease, heart problems, and even certain changes in the brain happening at lower consumption levels. Now, on the flip side, the data often shows that men are statistically more likely to engage in riskier drinking patterns, like binge drinking, which obviously carries its own set of very serious health risks. But the core message here, and it's an important one, is this. The effects might be different, but they're real for everyone. It's a good reminder, I think. Even though our bodies handle it differently, the potential downsides, well, they're there for all of us to think about. So with all this fascinating stuff going on, under the hood biologically, why isn't this talked about more? Why isn't it common knowledge? I think there's this persistent idea out there that alcohol affects everyone pretty much the same way. And it all just comes out of this vague notion of tolerance. Build up your tolerance, right? As we just discussed, the reality is way, way more complex and frankly, more interesting. It's this whole mix of body composition, those powerful hormones, how active your specific enzymes are, maybe even where you are in your monthly cycle, if that applies to you. Understanding this stuff isn't about making anyone feel bad or, telling people what to do. Not at all. It's about arming you with knowledge so you can be smarter, maybe safer, and definitely more in tune with what your own unique body needs. And honestly, who wouldn't want that? Seems pretty useful. Okay, so we know alcohol can affect us differently. We've established that. What are some practical things you can actually do with this info? Besides, the sometimes easier said than done advice to just cut back or drink less. Well, there are actually some interesting ways you can support your body if you do choose to have a drink now and then. One thing that popped out in the research is vitamin B1. You might know it as thiamine. See, alcohol can really throw a wrench in your brain's energy systems, and it tends to deplete thiamine. And thiamine is super important for things like focus and clear thinking. So maybe boosting your B1 levels could potentially help with brain clarity, cut down on that foggy feeling you sometimes get. Another interesting one is L-Theanine. This is an amino acid. It's known for its calming properties and its ability to maybe help balance out mood swings. So if you find that alcohol sometimes leaves you feeling a bit anxious or maybe emotionally off kilter the next day, or perhaps especially around those hormonal shifts we talked about, L-Theanine could be potentially a helpful addition to your toolkit, something to consider. Now, I did come across a mention that both of these ingredients, B1 and L-Theanine, can be found together in a supplement called Daily Restore. And the info I saw made a point of saying, and I appreciated this, zero pressure, just the facts. You've got options, which I think is the right attitude. It's just about giving your body a little extra support if you feel like it needs it. Options are good. So there you have it. That's the rundown. Realizing why that second drink might hit you differently than your friend. It isn't about who's tougher or who has more willpower. None of that. It's often deeply rooted in your individual biology. Simple as that. And having this knowledge, like truly understanding how alcohol uniquely interacts with your specific system, it's a powerful thing. Really powerful, no matter what your drinking habits are. This isn't about pushing some strict lifestyle change. Not necessarily. It's more about tuning into your own amazing body so you can feel better both now and, looking out for your long-term health based on what's actually happening inside you. And that brings us to the final little nugget for you to chew on today. A thought to leave you with. If something as common as every day is how we process a simple drink can be influenced by such intricate biological factors, hormones, enzymes, body water, what other subtle ways might your own unique biological makeup be influencing your experiences, like with the foods you eat or how well you sleep or even just your day-to-day energy levels? Definitely something to ponder, right? Food for thought. Thanks for exploring this with me today. I appreciate your time. Catch you next time. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.